Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Talking Real Estate, your Champions Real Estate team at Berkshire Hathaway Home Service Ambassador Real Estate Company. My name is Mark Wehner II, team leader at Champions Real Estate team. Every Wednesday we jump on, get a rundown of what's going on in the real estate market over the last 7 days. We always like to start out with a good quick tip. So our quick tip today is jumping on our championsrealestateteam.com website. On there, you can pull up, let me pull up here. Go on there. So we have our free buyer guide and seller guide. So basically, once you get on the championsrealestateteam.com website, you click up here to buying, pull under the buyers section here, and then right just on the main thing here, click on our home buyers guide. That home buyers guide basically have a lot of information in there, kind of what we offer as services from a buyer's agent standpoint. And then basically, as we look at it from what you need to know from a buyer's perspective, we love to sit down and meet with all of our buyers. So I got my coworker behind me here, my 1-year-old Camden. So how we doing, buddy? He just wants to say hi. But anyways, yeah, so we just want to, we always love getting together with our buyers, kind of give them a good game plan of what's going on. But quick tip, jump on our Champions Real Estate team. Obviously, all the local houses in the area, active listings and things of that sort. So great resource for you. Also, if you click on the selling side, thinking to sell on a house, have the same thing. We have our seller's guide right here that you can click on, get a good idea of what's going on out there, getting your house ready to sell. So check those out. If you have questions, always reach out to us. Always numbers right down here, 672-7670. But yeah, so there's tons of different information. Excuse me. On here on our website, do map search, market reports, all that kind of fun stuff out there. So you stay in tune with what's going on. And obviously stay watching us every Wednesday here at our Talking Real Estate segment. So let's check out what's gone on in the real estate market over the last 7 days. Give me just a second and pull it up here. Want this one. All righty. So over the last 7 days, we had 484 new listings go live in the last 7 days, 324 new contracts. So those ones went pending, and then 316 happy new homeowners. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty typical this time of year. We're, what I'm seeing in the marketplace with my buyers from a buyer's perspective is they're looking for value. So the buyers that are out there are serious buyers, especially this time of year. You don't get a lot of kind of looky-loos or just kind of oh, let's see what's out there. The people that are looking to buy now are, sense of urgency, want to get into a house, they're ready to rock and roll. So they're experiencing what's going on in the market. From a seller's perspective, making sure this time of year, you don't want to be chasing the market. You don't want, oh, let's try it at this price for a couple weeks. Then all of a sudden you get into couple weeks into the winter, snow starts flying, buyer pool gets a little bit smaller, and then you start chasing them. Well, let's reduce the price. And the next thing you know, you're costing yourself money. So making sure that you're working with one of us here at Champions Real Estate Team that's really going to get a game plan for you and position that house out there in the marketplace. I always kind of jokingly say to my clients, I'm like, you want to be the bridesmaid or you want to be the bride? And ultimately everybody want, get married in that aspect of it and don't want to have your house be the one that everyone's looking at and then going and buying the neighbor's house. So one that's condition and showing value to that buyer here in maximizing your equity in there. So, pricing that home right. I know the last one, our most recent listing, we priced it competitively. We had 6 showings and 4 offers. So you're not seeing that as much in this market with multiple offers. But when you price it right, house is in good shape. The sellers did a great job getting that house ready. They took our advice, our playbook, and we ran with it. And so that's kind of what we're looking for from an activity standpoint in the marketplace here. So, yeah. So let's take a look at a 30,000 foot view. Let me click out of this one, go to the next one here. There it is. All right. So those that have watched our video before, this graph doesn't change a whole lot, but this is what like the media and the newspapers and stuff like that will put out there that, hey, we're at low inventory, nothing's moving, but as we saw that other one, we had 484 houses come on the market and 324 go off. So there's a market moving in there where these numbers actually, as of last week in Douglas County, we had 2,183 listings in Douglas County. Well, if you just look at this graph and say, well, now we're at 2,186. We went up 3 listings in the whole week. Well, but if you look at that first graph, we had 484 new listings come on the market, 384 go off the market, basically go under contract. And so we're seeing that. That's the graph you really want to look at for this one, just so that everyone kind of gets a good perspective. We have 3,600 homes on the market in MLS. Put that in perspective in my, 16 years in real estate now. So in 2008, just the Omaha MLS, not including Lincoln, we had about 5,500 homes on the market. So we're still, our supply and demand right now, we're still a little bit low on the supply from on the demand side. And then existing homes, 1,149, and then new construction at 1037. Months of inventory is 3.4. So what that number means is basically we had no more houses come on the market after today, or as of right now, we'd have 3 months supply of inventory before everything was gone. So 0 to 3 months is about a seller's market. 3 to 6 is more of a neutral market. 6 and above is what we kind of deem a buyer's market. There's more homes on the market than there are buyers, and that kind of plays itself out. But when we're listing a house or even looking from a buyer's perspective, you got to look at that specific subdivision, that specific area, to get a good feel what the market is. So this 3.4 month supply of inventory is what's the entire MLS out there. But what is it in, an Arborgate subdivision where I used to live, type of thing. So you can hone down and say, all right, there's a bunch of inventory in this one. There's not a lot moving. And when we listed our last listing, I have the ability to go in and look at agents who use showing service to show houses. So we call the showing service, hey, can we take a look at the house tomorrow at noon? They say yes. Well, I can tap into that resource, see how many showings, if those agents are using that same showing service, which a lot of them are, and I can see in that listing I had, hey, there's been 12 showings in the last 30 days. And what does that mean for you as a seller? The buyer pool is not huge. So we got to position that house for the buyers to make it attractive in there. So you want to say hi? You excited? So my coworker here is getting excited because he thinks he's on video. But yeah, an average sold price kind of hovering right around that 350 mark. So nothing too crazy in that regards. But yeah, so it's still a great time to look at buy and sell. Just had a good conversation with a prospective buyer last night. Just kind of, when they want to get started, and all that good stuff. So, there's not, timing, people always talk about timing the market. That's not important. It's time in the market that's important. Because rates are going to do what they're going to do. Prices inevitably, over time, ultimately we don't have a crystal ball, but have shown historically to appreciate, 3 to 4% a year, and gotten crazier with COVID when we got up to the 10, above 10% a year, which was crazy, but we're not seeing that as much anymore. But yeah, so just kind of wrap it up. If you have any questions, give us a holler. Interest rates are kind of right on that 6.5%, give or take, depending on credit score and things like that. So those numbers aren't going to move too much. I mean, you hear a lot of the talking heads. I think the treasury bonds were doing well. So that's, that inverse of what the mortgage will do. So mortgage will tick up a little bit. So, all that kind of stuff we'll keep an eye on for you. But if you have questions, reach out to us, hit us up on any of the social media platforms. You have questions, comments, like, share, all that fun stuff. So, but happy to help. Give us a holler, 672-7670, and have a great rest of the Wednesday, and see everybody next week.